Certainly banks screen as looking cheap when we look across sectors. I think that their fortunes are inextricably linked with central bank policy at the moment, though, and unfortunately, at the moment we're focusing on the impact of negative rates for banks. But there's evidence now that some of the central banks, certainly ECB last week and possibly the BOJ this week, will be looking to try and mitigate some of the negative consequences of those negative rates for banks, and that could help a sector that's ultimately quite undervalued.
David, come in where you can on this. Where's not going to get you in trouble with the corporate communications people at HSBC?
So the problem is trying to devalue against a devaluer, and that's what they're finding in Sweden. The Riksbank is trying to devalue the Swedish currency against the euro, which has been trying to devalue themselves against the dollar. So that's the problem.
It's a currency war, isn't it? That's
it was a currency war, but my new piece is called Give Peace a Chance.
I can't reach over there.
All we are saying is give peace a chance, and we think we've broken into... Yeah, it is Lenin-esque and not Vladimir, John. Just in case you were getting confused there with your left-wing roots, Steve.
There's not many left on the left-wing front of my side.
So, no, we're saying peace has broken out. So we think that there's less currency wars at the moment, and that's engendering quite a good spirit, and that's why EM is doing quite well at the moment.
I pop over there a bit. I have some friends and family that way, and they tell me the property market...
I believe the family part, the friends part, struggled with, Steve.
You'd be surprised, David. But honestly, they're very worried about negative interest rates and what it's doing for the economy, for the property bubble they're seeing at the moment. They're also very worried about immigration and what that's doing for the economy.
Yeah, but
let's come on the property side. It's a bubble.
Last time they tried to raise rates, it was a disaster. So they said, oh, we've got this credit expansion, the housing market, blah-de-blah-de-blah. They raised rates, disaster. And this time they've gone the other way, negative rates, QE, and threat of intervention. So they're trying
so solving one problem, but are they creating another?
Well, they're going the other way now, let's call it. They're trying their best to keep the currency under wraps. So far, they're doing okay. But as I said, trying to devalue what they had been trying to do is devalue their currency against the euro, which is trying to devalue their currency against the dollar. Now, against the dollar, they've been very successful, but the one that matters is the euro. And the jury's out.
Johanna, do you think central banks are going to go much further into negative territory at this point? I mean, if you look at the Swedish central bank, they're down 0.5% in negative territory. Is there further scope to keep on tipping negative?
I think that there's still certainly... I don't think they're quite done yet. I think that certainly we saw last week Mario Draghi is still very intent on easing further, and potentially even the BOJ this week. But ultimately, I think it won't have much impact. So I think we're seeing the diminishing marginal returns to central bank policy at this point in time. We saw earlier this year when the Japanese moved to negative rates, the yen went up. So they're not getting the same bang for the buck that they're used to.